Okay, welcome back. Today I'm going to do I'm going to demonstrate a couple of modifiers. We're going to do a solidifier modifier, a Boolean modifier, and an array modifier. So three modifiers that I use a lot, and I think they're worth demonstrating. So here we're in the default Blender scene. A couple of housekeeping things. I'm in North America. My units are imperial, and my length is inches. So here we are with a cube, the default cube, and I'm going to go into item here. So this first tab, and I'm going to change the dimensions. So I'm going to demonstrate these modifiers with the isometric room. So the first thing I'm going to do is I want to make the dimensions of this cube more the dimensions of say a bedroom or a living room. And the dimensions I'm going for are 10 feet by 10 feet by 8 feet tall. So that's 120 inches by 120 inches by 96 inches. And that kind of gives me the dimensions of a room. So I'm going to go ahead and apply the scale. So Control A, apply scale. Anytime you change the dimensions of something in object mode, you need to apply the scale before you do anything else. Blender needs a starting point to apply modifiers or anything in edit mode. So, and now we are going to jump into edit mode, into vertices. And I'm going to click on this vertice closest to me. And I'm going to hit X and I'm going to delete that vertice. And now you can see I'm left with two back walls and a floor. This, in essence, is my isometric room. So, but if you look at it, you zoom in, the walls and the floor are paper thin. So we're going to fix that with our first modifier. So we'll go back into object mode. And the modifier is over here under this wrench. And think of modifiers as like a macro operation. If you've ever used Excel, think of it like a macro, maybe. So I'm going to click on Add Modifier, and they've kind of categorized them. We're going to be working in the Generate category, and we're going to go all the way down here to Solidifier. They're in alphabetical order. And the way this modifier works is you give it the thickness and then you select an offset. I don't really change any of these other things in here, but I'm going to give it like a 4-inch thickness. That looks good, but you can see that it's adding the thickness to the inside of the edges. I wanted to add it to the outside of the edges, so that's where the offset is. So right now it's set to -1. I can change that to just 1. And if you watch here, just watch along here, it now moved the thickness to the outside of the walls. So now with a modifier, I'm just going to, you need to apply modifiers. And once you apply them, you can't sort of undo, or you couldn't change, like right now I could change the thickness to say 5. Oh, also one thing I want to do is if you look at this, the edges, I always click even thickness, and it kind of makes the floor and the walls the same thickness. But I could change this to whatever dimension I want, although I do want it at 4. But once I apply this modifier, I can't change that. But if we tap into edit mode, say vertice, you can see the vertices or the edges, they're only on the inside. So from an edit mode standpoint, Blender doesn't know about this extra thickness we've added until we apply this modifier. So we're going to apply this. And if I tap back into edit mode, you can see now I got edges and vertices all the way around. So with it, if you don't apply the modifier, it kind of limits what you can do in edit mode. So that is our first modifier that I was promising. The next modifier is in this room, I want to put a window in this wall. So in order to do that, I need a hole. And what we're going to use here is a Boolean modifier. So the first thing we're going to do is add a cube. And I am going to grab this cube and move it along the y-axis so it is kind of through the wall, on both sides of the wall, like that. And I'm going to change the dimensions of it. I want it to be, say, 60 inches there, 24 there, and I'll say 36. So I like that. That's a good size for a window. So now the way the Boolean modifier works is the Boolean is, it's the room we're adding the modifier to. So back to the wrench, the modifiers. It's also in generate, and it's called Boolean. And the way this Boolean